Okay, it is teardown day. I didn't go out and buy my New Balances. I figure that's really more for installation and tuning, so we'll be okay. We got the truck out here. I've drained the coolant and got the battery out of it. That's about it. We are, let's see, we're getting ready to tear all of this normal regular stuff out, and we're gonna make her hot. We're gonna tighten her up a little bit, and got my little light up on the, of course I got my little magnetic light up on the hood. Give us a little light because I don't have great lighting on this side of the shop because I haven't put up my last light yet. But here we go. We're going to start tearing into this thing. I'm going to put on the SFG drag race in the background. And since YouTube doesn't like these things, I guess we're just going to go into a time lapse. So, but I'll make sure I'll put in some music for you all while I'm listening to the race. Let's get tearing down. And another thing, if you can't get into your work, you're doing the wrong job. You don't love it enough. You gotta be in it to win it. Yeah, something. Okay, do not correct your screen. I am sideways and upside down. So good. Ready? Here we go. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Come on. Oh, look at that. Oh, we got one cylinder head off. Oh, and there's actually a big enough hole I can just drop it right down through here. Does one. Oh, let's see if maybe I got all the bolts out. Maybe I didn't. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, get that MLS gasket out of there. It's sealed up pretty good though. All right. That's two. This is a VH now. Alright, let me get out of here and get these heads out of here. Then we'll see what the pistons look like. Okay, so we got the heads off. Let's see what we got. Now, they look a little rough. They look old. We have I looked them up already. They're 458, 642 heads, and it is very obvious that they are pretty big chamber and definitely small valve. They are 194 valves. I looked them up. They're 76 cc, 194 valves. They are not known for any kind of performance, so that's a good thing, because that means we'll see even better results than if they were some kind of 64 cc newer head. And see what they look like in here. Let's see what we got. What do we see? I don't see anything crazy. I mean, all the pistons are there. It's a good sign. Looks like all the pistons are intact. We have, oh, excuse me. Obviously, we have some kind of dish pistons. And we have some little valve reliefs. Nice thing is, I'm pretty sure this was one of the worst small blocks. You know, we're talking small heads, dish pistons. You know, this is like probably an 8-to-1, maybe barely 8.5, maybe. It's probably a lot like the one that came out of my Nova originally, but it's definitely nothing fancy. But the nice thing is, going from 76 cc's to a 64 cc, we're going to pick up some compression. We like compression. Compression's good. And with the cam and the heads with the 202 valves, and I believe these are 160 runners. The new heads are 180s, and with the cam, we'll wake it right up. I think that's going to be it for tonight. We got to get my butt inside and got to get the kids to bed. So, all right. I think we got a lot done. We know what we got. Now we know where we're going. And it's going to go fast. We'll see you tomorrow. Well, I'll be. One of these things doesn't look like the other. That there cam lobe is missing a 1/100th of lift. Guess it's a good thing we're doing this deal. Alright, I can say that the assembly has begun. We got the crank gear on for the timing set. Of course, sometimes that can be one of the hardest parts, just getting that damn old one off, lightly persuading the new one on. But getting the old one off can be the hard part. But there you go, assembly started. I got my neat little hat. See, we gotta do work. And we get really into our work. It's gotta be a little brighter. And then when we get the job done, we get paid, we party on the way to the bank. Yes, I'm still retarded, yes. Alright, so we're out here in the C10. Literally, we're in it. One of the more important things to do when you're doing old school small blocks, one of those things where everybody likes to forget about it or not think about it. See it? It is very important. It is very important to chase all the head bolts. All of them. All of them. Because I have actually seen where when you don't, and you go torque that head down, and you torque it down to spec, because there's junk in the threads, it was nowhere near tight enough, and it actually pushed water up through one of the bolt holes. I'm sorry, not up through the bolt holes, but in the cylinder. So it's important. That's one of those things where you gotta have the sealant for the ones that go through the water passages on a stock block. And if you don't clean the threads out and put a nice new bolt in there with fresh sealant and tighten it down correctly, you're gonna get a leak. So remember, you're doing it, do it right. Alright, we're finally starting to get some reassembly done now. One issue we came across was some spring pressure. The heads were set up with an installed height of 175, which puts the pressure over 130 and over 300 open. After further investigation, we found out that these heads have a FT version for flat tappet that brings the spring pressure down to under 120 and under 300 open. So the only difference is, the only way they do it is you get new keepers. They're 50 plus keepers. So they add 50 thou to the spring. They lift the spring up 50 thou, take a little pressure off. And that's the only difference between this head and the FT head. So we did order those up. We got the keepers. This head's already done. Luckily these springs aren't real heavy, so I do have these things usually bend and break real easy, but this is actually a pretty nice one. This one grabs it up pretty good, and we've already checked the pressures and double checked, got my spring mic, double checked the installed height. So we're gonna start getting this thing back together, and fingers crossed this will help to guarantee a successful break-in on the cam. That, and we got moly lube, moly grease. Some actually came with the cam, this stuff, but I actually got another tube of it, and we're gonna lather her up real nice like, and hopefully all goes well, but it doesn't happen until we get to work. So let's go. Alright, now as you can see, we have these 50 plus keepers in. The valve tip is pretty close now. They were, well, obviously they were 50 thou sticking out more before, so we've relieved a little bit of pressure. Hopefully that does the job we need it to do. And like I said, this head's already done. We already got lifters and the chain soaking. We have assembly lube over here. We have everything covered up, but we got our surfaces pretty well cleaned up, scraped down. So I don't think we're going to start assembly tonight because it's already 11 o'clock, but I think we can come out here tomorrow, and what we're going to do is we're going to put the heads on first. We're going to try to clean the deck up a little bit more. I have some Felpro gaskets that are 39 compressed versus the 50 that were in the kit that we got. It might help with the compression a little bit. So we're going to put those on. They are the Felpro 1043s, which I like those. They work really well. I've used them multiple times. And then the last thing we're going to do, we're going to get a lot of stuff done, and then get the heads on, then put the cam in. And then that way I don't want the cam sitting in the block, and I don't want to put lifters on it or anything like that, and give the grease or the lube any time to dissipate or get rocked back and forth to get off the lobe. We need to have the heads on, put the cam in, lock in the valve train, and let it stay, and then hopefully I can have it running not that long after that, so that everything, all the moly grease needs to stay where it's at. And these cams, the hydraulic flat tappets, they are finicky. So we do have to be very careful how we do this. That's why I wasn't going to put these heads on here unless we took a little pressure off. Definitely could have had a problem there. So that'll be for tomorrow. Another successful night. Got a little job done. Now I get to go strip some wire because you know, we do these things too. So never stop. Can't ever stop. All right. I'll see you in the morning.